Hello, it is Thursday night. Welcome to Film Forum. I'm your host, Chyrisse, and this is my guest, Bob, who is a regular. He's on all the time, every season, it seems. Bob is a geologist, and he's often on our show. And what is Film Forum? It is a politically progressive talk show with a feminist edge. And you can be our actually, I'm the only woman here tonight, come to think of it.
You're in the minority tonight.
Yeah. We have Joaquin Pazuela running everything behind the scenes today. Tracy couldn't be here, so Joaquin Pazuela is holding down the fort with all the technical direction. And then we have Bob, and I'm like the token female.
Well, tonight, actually, maybe we're the token males.
I don't know. Well, this is a live show. It's a call-in show, and we usually talk about different current events and stuff. And to figure out what we're going to talk about, we will consult with the famous Film Forum fortune teller. So, Bob, you get to pick a number here.
All right.
Pick a number, any number. Just
7.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, pick a number in there.
That one.
And we're going to talk about what?
It looks like we're talking about the president's news conference last night.
Okay, that seems like a good thing to talk about. What a joke that was. You want to start off, Bob? Or
Well,
what do you have to say about that man?
Well, you know, it's probably one of the most dangerous news conferences ever given. All of the veiled threats about things we are potentially going to do, I believe, to Iran.
Oh yeah, and Syria too,
and
right?
Syria, and it was interesting the way that in order to reduce our troop level, we are raising it. And I don't know if you saw Condoleezza Rice today.
They don't know how to do math too well, do they?
Condoleezza refused to call it an increase in troop strength. She had some funny name she used for it, but refused to call it an increase.
They're framing it in another way.
Yes.
Don't they always?
Even their right-wing buddies are starting to back away from them.
Yeah,
I noticed a significant number of congressmen and senators. Hagel was all over it. So anyhow.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Just making sure. Go ahead about Hagel.
Well, I was just commenting on what his little exchange with Condoleezza Rice, who has turned out to be one of the more disturbing people that is in the Bush administration. The administration has totally isolated itself with its policies, and
from the rest of the world. We're isolationists in a sense.
Not just the rest of the world, but from even the people in this country. I think that somewhere there's about 30% of the people that still support his policies, and I don't know who those people are, but
there was a poll that I read, an AP poll. 70% of the people of this republic do not think that it's a good idea to increase troops. Yet he does whatever he damn well pleases.
Oh. Well, and he has several times in the past said how we didn't need more troops. We weren't going to increase troops. The whole bottom line, in my opinion, is that he stuck us in a situation we should have never been put in, and there is no way out. There's no graceful way out that is going to leave Iraq, the Middle East, in a better situation than was in before we went in and invaded. And that's the great conundrum, in my opinion. To send more troops in when I think the writing is clearly on the wall. We are going to be leaving Iraq. We shouldn't be there to begin with, but we are going to be leaving.
He lied to us once. What makes people think that he's telling the truth now?
Well, I don't know that he knows what the truth is.
I don't think so either.
That's what I think.
Well, but just not long ago, he was saying how successful we were in Iraq.
Well, you know.
And now all of a sudden,
Well, it doesn't make any sense to lose another American life or take another Iraqi life if the end situation is going to be we're going to leave anyhow. And
that's true.
And
well, but the thing is, they're trying to build those military bases before we leave.
Well, who are they going to turn them over to? You know?
That's the good question, but that is what we're trying to do. They're trying to make a democracy, you know.
Well, Well, if I recall correctly, when Bill Clinton, who was, in my opinion, one of the greater presidents we've had,
Oh, yeah.
when he intervened in Somalia, the Republicans jumped all over him, saying that we shouldn't be trying to build democracies throughout the world. So how interesting the tables have changed.
Big time.
I also read a little thing in the paper yesterday about the Republican Congress complaining that the Democrats weren't letting them in on making all the rules and setting the House agendas and all.
It's like that memo that they wrote, oh, please, we need to be bipartisan. All of a sudden, after how many years have gone by, they've been in power. Now please play nice, play fair.
Well, I think it took them 12 years to understand what that meant, and now they understand it. Now that they don't have
now that their backs are up against the wall. Hell, they were even complaining about Nancy Pelosi saying no smoking in the lobby.
Oh, I know.
Secondhand smoke is dangerous, and I think that's great. Why should they be there sitting there smoking and stuff? But the president he's a monarch. He's not taking Congress or the Senate into consideration.
Or the will of the American people.
There's 800 signing statements he signed. You know what? It's like a parent. We need to go in there and take the car keys away from this man. He's had enough fun joyriding around. Now we need to take the keys away and punish him. Ground him for a while. Last
Friday it came out that one of his signing statements allowed him to have anybody's mail opened that he chose.
Yes.
And
he can take my junk mail.
Well, I wish he would, But to hell with the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. And he's tried to sell all of his stealing of our rights as things we needed to do to protect our rights
from terrorism.
And I think he's done more damage to the Bill of Rights and the Constitution than all the terrorist acts that have ever occurred against this nation. I actually believe that he's committed the highest forms of treason possible and should be held accountable.
Like Saddam was.
Yeah, well...
killing Saddam, and we were probably standing right there with the black masks.
Well, we delivered him.
That caused even more violence.
Sure. And it was done in such a
circus.
A circus way, exactly.
A circus. I was reading today, Wesley Clark was saying that he was, of course, against the war for some time, but the last 4 years has been basically like a distraction from getting Osama bin Laden and the real terrorists. It's been, like I said, a joyride. Now it's time to pull this man away and get this country back on its feet again and get some respect. We've lost our allies. We have nobody.
Well, plus we're spending over $1 billion a day.
Oh, this war was supposed to pay for itself, wasn't it?
Well, that was right after the Iraqis greeted us with flowers and presents and gifts. But $1 billion a day. Think of all the things we don't have in this country that we need. Think of the
hospitals, education,
and medicine,
drugs for elderly people.
We could fund all of that with just a portion of the money that we're spending in Iraq. And the bottom line is we will be coming home. I hope sooner rather than later, because I would like to see not another one of our brave young people over there
die in vain.
Because that's what it's for. Nothing will be accomplished. Actually,
they're dying for an Iraqi democracy, aren't they?
Well, what we've done is we've created an open, festering wound now in the Middle East, and the whole area is probably going to ignite at some point because of it.
Well, during the speech, too, I noticed all these veiled threats to skeptics and the Democrats. Basically saying, well, there's going to be a lot of naysayers out there, and we're going to see a lot of bodies on TV during the next year. Well, we've been seeing bodies for 4 years, or maybe not seeing like we should, because they shield the public from what's really going on.
It's been very sanitized. It's extremely sanitized war effort, and anyhow, let's just hope that somehow our people in Congress will get the courage to do what it takes. If that means defunding the war, do whatever it takes to get our soldiers back home and to quit this craziness that we're doing over there. Too many good people on both sides, on all sides, have lost their lives. I read a thing on the numbers of people who died on an annual basis under Saddam Hussein's regime, and it was about a third of what's dying over there right now.
Wow. So we've put these people in peril.
Yes.
By this frivolous event, this Iraqi invasion and now Iraqi occupation, and that's what I've been calling it too. It is an occupation.
Well, that's what the Iraqis consider it to be too, and that's what the entire Muslim Middle East considers it to be, and it appears to be that to me also.
Yeah. That's the way it looks to me, unless you're listening to Glenn Beck. I was listening today in Schnitt, and they were saying, oh yes, we agree with the president, we need to increase the troop levels, and over there right now, the soldiers have had their hands tied. This is the propaganda that they've been saying.
That's it.
That they haven't been able to go into various areas where the insurgents are hiding, and now we'll be able to go in there and weed them out.
And that's what it is. It's just a couple of those bad guys over there. They never bring up, why are we actually there? What got us there?
Why we're there?
Why did we go there? Were we threatened? Was anything that the Bush administration used as a reason to go to war, did any of that prove to be correct? And
well, he tried to even bring up 9/11 yesterday. There is no connection. And all they're going to do if we send 20,000 more troops over there is throw 20,000 more IEDs at these people.
That's right.
Instead of at each other, they'll say, oh, look, the Sunnis and Shia will say, let's start getting the Americans.
Well, that's right.
It's ridiculous. So we invite you all to give us a call and see what you guys hear about, or what you think about this whole situation. Something else I wanted to bring up that was interesting. Of course, we've seen Inconvenient Truth, the Al Gore thing.
Yes.
There's been a lot of controversy around it showing it in schools.
Well, that's right, because under the Bush administration, the last thing we want is for the truth to be told in public schools, because we might raise a generation of kids who would go out and vote, and then those SOBs could never be in power again. So I understand why they wouldn't want that.
You see why they're trying to keep us in the dark here. It says here, this is out of Seattle. This week in Federal Way schools, it got a lot more inconvenient to show one of the top grossing documentaries, An Inconvenient Truth. After parents who support the teaching of creationism and opposes sex education complained about the film, they put a moratorium. They didn't want to show it in the school anymore because a couple parents complained. And this one parent says that condoms don't belong in the school, and neither does Al Gore. He's not a school teacher. And also, this man believes that
But is he a condom? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm
confused. Go ahead. I want to hear
The parent said that he believes the Earth is 14,000 years old, and that all of this global warming business is a controversy, and they should show the opposing side to the coin. What is the opposing side to global warming?
It's sticking
science.
your head in the sand.
This is a funny thing. It said, according to them, according to their creationist viewpoint, the end of the world will not be a flood. It won't be due to global warming. It will be a fire.
Well, I'm glad that they're tuned into that.
That's the opposing view.
Well, when the sun becomes a red giant, that kind of makes sense.
So the opposing view of the sea level rising and the flooding would be, no, the Earth is going to burn up. That's the opposing view.
Well, I used to not understand the creationist point of view and the people who didn't believe in evolution, but I think I do understand it now. I think the reason they don't believe in evolution is maybe they represent a subspecies of hominids, and they in fact haven't evolved in hundreds of thousands of years. And so maybe that's why. Maybe they're just neurologically incapable of the thought process
the way the hard wiring is. Exactly. It just hasn't evolved yet.
I think there may be something to that.
I can't believe this, though. This whole controversy here, the movie is backed up by the American Meteorological Society. I know NOAA. advancement of science, the National Academy of Sciences, all sorts of